Hi friends, tracy.bish here, Stampin Up demonstrator in Australia. Welcome to the global monthly video hop for September. I'm super excited to be sharing it with you and some of my greatest friends in Stampin Up as well. So our theme for this month is mini catalogue, which is just out. If you haven't seen it, you really do need to have a look. There are some great products inside. So if you're new to the global monthly video hop, what it is a group of Stampin' Up demonstrators from around the world. We get together each month with a new theme and you are going to be inspired. Now what's really great is we are using the mini catalogue. It is coming up to holiday season and this little catalogue is packed full of some really great products as well. So I am actually using a suite from the catalogue and it's the Traditions of Christmas. Now this is a mega suite. It is on pages 21 to 27, so I'm going to just share them with you really quickly. There are two bundles in this mega suite. So here we have the two bundles. There's an embossing folder, embellishments and ribbon, as well as beautiful DSP. If you want to get the whole suite, there is a number here that you can purchase the whole suite with. You don't have to put in each item in individually, but there is some really great products in this suite as well, which I'm excited to really start playing with as well. So yeah, that's the last of that. Mini catalogue is available now. If you live in Australia and you're not already ordering through another demonstrator and you would like a catalogue, get in touch with me. I would happy to be your demonstrator and send one out to you. Alright, so let me show you the card that we're going to be creating today using this beautiful suite. This is a 2-flap card and it opens up twice. So it's actually a really simple card. It looks like there's a lot of work and that it's a little bit difficult, but it really isn't. Okay, so just quickly as well, before we move on to making this, as this is a video hop, I just want to let you know that in the description of this video, you can see everyone that's taking part in this month's video hop for the global monthly video hop. And please, once you've finished here, please go over and have a look at what everyone else is creating as well. But look at this one, Traditions of Christmas Suite. So just quickly, I want to go through the products that I'm using. I'm actually using both suites in the catalogue. We have the Christmas Greenery Bundle, which is this one here. So this actually has a few standalone dies as well as the ones cutting out from the set. Then we also have the traditional label dies. So we have all our Christmas greetings and then some really great labels that can cut those out as well. Sorry, that light is a little bit bright there, isn't it? And because, you know, I also wanted to bring in something a little bit extra, I'm also using my wonderful stylish shape dies, just that large square. But if you don't have this one, that's fine. You can just cut out a square as well. But this is an amazing set and I love this one. Okay, we have the embellishments from this set. This is the traditional sparkling sequins and there are a ton on there. Great texture and they're actually really quite thin. They don't have a lot of bulk to them. The ribbon is real red shiny ribbon, which it definitely is shiny. It's really pretty and nice and quite wide as well. And I'm also using the beautiful DSP from this set. I've actually bought the sticker sheet as well. So you won't get that unless you buy the sticker sheet as well, but let me show you how beautiful this paper is. So many fun designs and its specialty paper is gold. Gold foiling, that's the word I'm looking for. This is the one that I've used. We have lots of foiling on one side and the other side has a nice pattern. I do love the colours in this as well. So we can actually cut the dies, use the dies to cut that out as well. I have those two. I should have probably got them in order. I'm making a mess of this, but there we go. That's the two designs there. I really love this one. This is pretty. Now there is no actual pink in the colour combos. That's two different 2 different designs as well. What do we have? I think I've already shown these, but that's okay. So the colour combo, because this is actually pretty interesting. Cherry Cobbler, Old Olive, Pool Party, Real Red and Secret Sea, as well as the gold. What's really funny is there's definitely pink in these, and there is no pink in the colour combo. So anyway, all good. Now we can move on to the card now that we've seen everything. Now I do have some things cut and ready to go, some things not cut, ready to go. We are going to do a little bit of die cutting and before we get started. So I have a piece of basic white thick cardstock to die cut our little label here. I'm going to do that with you. I have die cut real red and basic white with that largest square from the Stylish Shape dies. I have a piece of real red cardstock which measures 3 by 6 inches. That's going to be our second flap. I have a piece for the inside of the card, so you could leave that blank if you didn't want to. I really wanted to add a little bit of colour. I thought it looked a little bit too dark with the Secret Sea. So this measures 5.5 by 3 7/8, and I also have the exact size in Pool Party as well. So 5.5 by 3 7/8. We have a piece of this gorgeous DSP. This measures 5 by 3 3/8. I've got a card base, which is actually 4 1/8 by the length of the A4, which is 11 7/8. No, 11 3/4. 11 3/4. So I'm just wondering if that's the correct one. I do have some A4 size as well as the American size, because we got them at On Stage, and now I just want to make sure that I have picked up, because I just cut it in half. I want to make sure that it's the right, yeah, that's the right length for the standard Australian card. So 4 1/8 by 11 3/4. That's our card base. I've got some cardstock for our die cutting. So I've got Old Olive, which is a coordinating colour, and some beautiful gold shimmer paper. So before we get started, I do want to do a little bit of the die cutting. So let me grab this label. This is the one we're going to stamp Merry Christmas in. I almost said happy birthday. How funny would that be? And that is the basic white thick. So I need that one of those. That's all we need out of this one. Let me grab the other set. This is the Christmas greenery dies. And I need 2 of these in Old Olive and 2 in the gold. So we're going to be doing those 2 die cuts just quickly now as well. So let's bring in the machine. Sometimes I would do these after I've made the card, but I really just wanted to, you know, get everything sort of fairly done before getting started. Now the trick with this is you don't need a full length of this die, because it sort of hides in the back there. But I've got a big piece of Old Olive, so I'm not too worried. That just moved. Let's try that again. But with my gold paper, specialty paper, I'm going to make sure that I only die cut probably half of that die. So hopefully that makes sense. This is actually fairly detailed. So I'm going to do my pushing out with my take my pick tool, and then run it through again. And there is a couple of spots in that die. If it didn't come out, just pop them through. Okay, we're going to run this through again. So hopefully everyone's had a really great day. Let me know what you've been up to, if you've done anything exciting. I'm so excited to start creating with the new catalogue. Halloween's probably one of my favourite. I don't know, is it a holiday? People say it's not a holiday, and it's probably not a holiday. I do enjoy Halloween crafting, and I've been doing that with the Halloween Spooktacular series. So hopefully, if you haven't seen that, go and have a look at that here on YouTube. I've done 6 weeks, or I'm doing 6 weeks, 2 videos each week. So that's super fun. And I haven't really started my Christmas crafting as yet. So a lot more to come. Today is just the very beginning of Christmas crafting. It's one of my favourite holidays to craft, because it is a holiday to craft. We've also die cut our little label here. Now you want to be careful. This die actually cuts 2 pieces, so there is a little edge piece which I'm leaving on my label, but you can take that off and it just has the stitched edging, so up to you how you do it. And then lastly, I'm going to just cut off a little bit of my gold, and I only want to cut half of that die. So I'm pretty close here. I think I'm going to get just across there. So I just want to make sure that I'm not wasting this precious gold paper. And this is one way of doing it. It's not really you don't need to die cut the whole length, so we're doing it this way. Hopping through. So we have one. Let's run through for the second time. That's moving the camera a bit. Sorry about that, everyone. Just been bobbing along as I die cut. So I'm so excited to see what everyone's creating from the catalogue. Whether people choose Christmas or there's no Halloween in there. That was an online exclusive, so people may do fall or something like that. Okay. I'm going to bring my die cut pieces in. Now, before we actually die cut and, oh, not die cut, we've die cut, before we score and start chopping our card base and all that to go together, I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. So we have our basic white square die cut. We're going to heat emboss with gold embossing powder for the inside, as well as our sentiment here. And I'm going to be using the gold embossing powder and Versamark ink, and I do need to grab my stamp set out. So we're going with Big Merry Christmas. Now these come in 2 stamps, so you're going to have to do one at a time or stamp them 2 together, whichever you'd like to do. There it is there. I'm going to save time, I'm going to stamp both together, and that's the traditional labels stamp set. And then from the Christmas greenery, I've grabbed this one here, which is so pretty, and we're going to stamp this with the white square. Now I've left it, you know, just gold embossed. If you want to add a little bit more sparkle, shine and all those good things, a bit of colour, You can then come in with, you know, a bit of water painting, or, you know, your ink pad, and add a little bit of colour that way as well, which would look really, really pretty. Okay. So you can either lay these together, which I think I'm going to do this time round. For my sample, I actually stamped the two separate, but this is going to work really well. Now, I do need to, because I'm heat embossing, I'm going to bring my embossing buddy in, just to make sure that I don't end up with stray powders everywhere. Chances are, if I don't do it, there'll be a mess everywhere. And I do want to add just a piece of paper underneath, just to make sure I'm just stamping on those pieces. So Versamark Ink's clear sticky ink, perfect for your embossing. You can also get a great, what's that called? It's going to come to me. When you're stamping on coloured cardstock, I'm just trying to think of the term. I'm not 100% sure, but on coloured cardstock gives a great effect because it's watermarking. There you go. Sometimes thinking on the fly after a full day at work can be a hard thing to do. So let's add that down. And then I can bring my gold powder in. I don't know whether I need more. Probably do. It's getting a little light here, isn't it? Now, did you guys know that embossing powder does go off? So if you don't use it regularly, and I do a lot of embossing, but if you don't use it regularly, it will get a funny smell to it when you're heating it, but it also has a funny look. It sort of goes clumpy. So if you're one of those people that don't emboss very often, if your embossing powder does go clumpy or have a funny smell to it when you're heating it, then chances are it may be off. And although I do heat emboss quite regularly, it has happened to me as well. So we're just going to use the Stampin' Up heat tool to melt that powder down, and it's going to go, when it melts, it's going to go nice and shiny, so you'll know that it has heat embossed. And I don't think that this powder's working quite as well, so I think I am going to have to buy another lot. It just doesn't have that big shine to it. Maybe I have to do some fun techniques and just use it up. It's good. There's one. Let's bring the second one in. And this little detail for the inside is really great. You've still got a little bit of room to write inside your card. You can also stamp it a little bit lower if you're a big writer in card. I think I've told my viewers before, so if you've watched me for a while, you know that I do not like writing inside my cards. So all our family's cards, I create them and my husband writes in them. It's just not something I'm very good at. He's more of the wordsmith, so that's his job. Look at that. Is that not so pretty? Okay, so we have those elements ready to go. We have all the elements ready to go. I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer and we can start creating our card. So we have a piece of Secret C. This is measured 4 1/8 by 11 3/4 off the top of my head. I'm actually just going to score in half. That is our card base. So like that. And we're actually going to cut one side in half. So as you can see, the card's folded out like that. We're going to go from the top score line down to the bottom right hand side. So we're just going to chop that off. So let's do that. I'm lining it up in my tracks here. So the corner, and that's perfect. So they both line up. I'm going to grab my cutting blade and move it towards the center of this piece. And we're going to start from the center or center-ish, and then work your way to the outside edges. This will help, and I need a new blade in here, but it will help not to bunch this all up. If you try and go from the sides, what you'll find is most of the time you're going to burr your edges really badly, and it's not going to look very good. Just sand that, and that looks good. So there we have it. That is our card base. So we can move this to the side. The next one we're going to do is this pool party piece. So this was measuring, what did I say before? 5 1/2 by 3 7/8. And we want to, it's just going to go on the front of our card. So like so. But we need to cut it so we can pop it on both sides. So we're going to go from the top right down to the bottom left and cut that in half. So top right, bottom left. Again, move the blade to the middle-ish, cut up, lift it up a little bit so you're not pulling back on that edge, and then down to the end. And we have two pieces. Again, I'm going to just use that sanding disc to try and get rid of those burry edges, and there we have that one. The last one, the second last one we're going to do, we actually have our second fold, or the flap. This is 6 by 3 inches. We're going to just score in half at 3 inches. Just making sure I get rid of my cutting blade, score in half. So then we have our flap, which is at 3 inches. So 3 by 6 scored at 3 inches. And then lastly, we have our DSP piece. Now, to make sure that we don't muck this up, sometimes it's easier to just look at your card and have a look. You're going to make sure that it's up the right way. To me, it goes this way. And again, we're going to cut like our pool party piece. We're going to cut from the bottom right. The top right to the bottom left. So top right to bottom left. Pop the two sides or two corners into the track, make them line up. Bring my cutting blade down towards the middle. We're going to go to the top, lift it slightly off that DSP, and then we can go down to the very end. And we have our perfect little pieces. And how gorgeous is this DSP? Absolutely stunning. Okay, so this is going to come together really, really quickly and easily now, but we have done all the hard work. So to start off with, because we have our insert piece of basic white, I'm going to actually pop that in there first. If you're not using this layer, that's fine. Just leave this out. But if you are, make sure that this one goes down first. Otherwise, you're not going to get it in. So just layering that all the way around so it's nice and even. Then our next piece is our pool party, and we're going to line that along the edge. Now remember, this piece was the same measurement as the basic white, so we're going to layer it with that basic white piece. So just a little bit of glue, layer that up with the edge like so. And then we can close our card up. We're going to use that other piece of our rectangle and adhere to the card base. So has anyone started their Christmas crafting yet? I don't know whether it's ever too early. I find that if I don't get it started early, then it really doesn't get done. Because the closer it comes to Christmas, the faster the days go, and I really do struggle to get those things done. And then as soon as the pressure is on, I really do struggle. Okay, so now we're going to layer up our 2 DSP pieces. So one will go on the inside, one's going to go on the outside. So we can adhere them ones down too. Now if you're using directional DSP, you're going to make sure that it's directional when you cut it, if that makes sense. You don't want it to be upside down. So the, 5 inches across by 3 3/8 inch down. I've made lots of wrong cuts in previous years with directional paper. Crazy. Okay, so we have our flap here. This is our second flap. I've just folded that score line. I'm going to quickly burnish it. And then for the inside of the card, we're going to add our little heat embossed flowers. And that gives us our little writing spot. If you need more, you can also put a basic white or a pool party piece on the back side of your card, so the back here, and you could write a little bit more as well if you're, maybe catching up with friends and family that you don't see very often and you use Christmas cards for. That's a great idea. Now we have our basic red largest square from the Stylish Shapes. I'm actually going to pop this one up with some dimensionals. There's not a lot of border all the way around. So by adding a little bit of dimension with your dimensionals, that just makes it stand out just that little bit more. And I think there's got to be a little bit of pop-up on cards as well. I'm going to pop that on the front. And there is a bit of a matting, like you can see it, but that extra pop-up with the dimensionals just makes it look even more classy. And what we're going to do is we're going to adhere that to the inside of our card. So the easiest way I feel is you're going to add adhesive here, and then you're just going to center it in the middle with the card open. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's add some adhesive. We're going to pop them in the middle and then just press down. So when we close the card, you can see it's still in the middle. To me, that's the easiest way, is keeping this flap out of the road and then just centering your second flap in the center. Okay, so the next one we're going to do, or the next step we're going to do, is we're going to take our sentiment piece, and I'm going to grab some tear and tape. We're going to start layering up our little die cut pine. And I ended up actually using 2 pieces of tear and tape. I put one layer down, and then I come back in and add another layer of the tear and tape. Now I am going to just chop down a little bit of this old olive die cut. It's just going to add too much bulk there. And what we're going to do is we're going to add one greenery leaf. Actually, I think, that'll be fine. And then I'm going to do the opposite side on the other side. So one's coming up, one's sort of going to be a little bit more down. Let's add another little strip of the tear and tape. And then we're going to use our gold paper. I did try it with a whole bunch of colours. I tried Pool Party, Secret Sea, which is our card base. And I come back with the green, even though we haven't used the green in the card. There is the green in the DSP, so it does look pretty. So I'm hoping now that that's a little bit too long. Hang on. I probably should have done that first. This is going to be fine. And I do want to actually move over the old olive on this side as well. Yeah, that's good. I have butchered the back, so let me fix that by adding a little bit more tear and tape over the top. That's going to secure those die cut pieces down. I'm going to take the backings off, and then I'm going to add some dimensionals to give that pop up onto our flap. Because there is a bit of dimension with the die cuts, I think popping them up with dimensionals will get a better hold than if you were to glue it down. It'll become lumpy and bumpy with your label, and I don't know. I just don't think that would look overly pleasing. So by adding some dimensionals, that will sort of give good adhesive, or adhesion, that would be the word. And won't fall apart either. So we're just lining that up on that flap. So cool. Look how good that looks already. Open, open. Okay, just to finish off a few little last embellishments, I suppose. I'm going to take this real red shiny ribbon, and I'm going to do a little bow and adhere that down. So one side of this shiny ribbon is shiny and the other side is not so shiny. So when you're creating your bow, you do have to manipulate your ribbon around a little bit, but it's super easy to do. Very, very easy to make stunning bows. Tidy the edges. So cute. And I'm going to use a mini glue dot to pop that down. Like so. This is actually a little bit bigger of a ribbon bow. That's so cool. Okay, and let's bring in our traditional sparkling sequins. I'm going to pop some of those down. So they come in small, medium and large in real red, old olive, pool party and a gold, which is super pretty. I'm going to grab a medium gold. Now these have a ton of sparkle. It's really hard to show. Hang on. Camera, pick it up. But honestly, they are super thin. Can you see how thin that is? It's like the tip of the tool. Oh, it focused in and focused out again. Can you see that? So sparkly, but really, really thin. So these would work amazing if you do scrapbooking. It's not going to add a lot of bulk to your scrapbooking pages, and They're so sparkly and beautiful. We've got a pool party, and let's grab a small Old Olive as well. And this is my 2-flap card using the Traditions of Christmas suite from the new mini catalogue. How beautiful is this card? I love it. These colours are not your traditional Christmas colours, I don't think. You know, the Secret Sea, pool party. But absolutely gorgeous. What do you guys think? Now, if you've enjoyed today's video, I would love it if you gave me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of this card. This is just one of the videos in the Global Monthly Video Hop for this month. So please go into my, after you've watched the video and done all those things, please go into the description of this video and go through everyone's links and see what everyone's created using this beautiful mini catalogue. Now, let me bring that in again and quickly show you. It's even featured on the front page, this Traditions of Christmas DS suite. So amazing. All right, thank you so much for spending a bit of time with me today. I really hope that you've enjoyed to see this card being created. And if you give this one a go, let me know. Share it with me in social media. I would love to see what you create using this design, or even if you create this one as well. All right, everyone, until next month, I'll be back with other videos, but I'll be back with the Global Monthly next month as well. So come back and join me for that. And I hope you have an amazing day. All right, everyone. Bye.